Hey YouTube, you have Leonard here. Bring guys and gals, Kanojo Okarishimasu. Rent a Girlfriend, we're here, chapter 229, the review portion. So, right now, again, we just did a live reaction on Twitch. You can check it out, link in the description box down below to see the live reaction while it is up. And this chapter was frustrating, a little confusing, and at the end, very hilarious. We got chat over here on the side, which I'll be glancing as I do this review. But I think the big takeaways from this chapter for me, as I kind of think through it, again, just fresh off the read, is the fact that Kazuya and Chizuru are still making a fatal mistake. Is that lack of communication. We've said this before, the reason they got even into the situation is because they never spoke things through. Just think about it, everybody. If Kazuya and Chizuru had actually spoken at any point during the trip before everything went down, even like when they were at the dinner, all these different elements of the trip, they just spoke and they came to realization of how they felt for one another, an earnest conversation, then none of this would be an issue. Even what Kazuya's mom said in this chapter about how this wasn't a big deal is true. As long as they're a couple and they're good now, it really isn't an issue. The problem that lies right now is the fact that, again, they aren't even actually a couple because they still haven't talked it through. Kazuya doesn't think that this is legitimate. We don't know what Chizuru's thinking. We know Chizuru is obviously clear in her feelings between the kiss, even the hesitancy she showed to Ruka just now in this chapter, but they haven't really come to an agreement as to where they stand. That lack of communication continues to be the undoing. But I love the fact that in this chapter between Kuri and Ruka, especially Kuri, MVPs. Kuri sits Kazuya down and he's just like, after all of that, this is still a rental situation, right? And Kazuya's like, yeah, of course, there's no way it could be an actual relationship. And I love how Kuri's just like, bruh, but you kissed. And then he reiterates when Kazuya's trying to rationalize everything, he's like, but you kissed. So in that situation, Kuri's just like, regardless of what you say, regardless of how you feel about the situation, that kiss is real. That's not something that Chizuru's doing just for make-believe, for pretend purposes. She saved you multiple times, but this is different. And I really hope that Kazuya takes that to heart, he thinks about it, and it spurs him on to try and actually have an honest conversation again with Chizuru. But again, I feel like I've been asking for an honest conversation for like 20 chapters now. So at this point, I mean, it is what it is. It is what it is. But nonetheless, I think Kuri was really the MVP, trying to speak the facts of the fact that, hey, Kazuya, this is potentially leading to something. You should probably talk it out. You should use your brain, think it through, and talk to Chizuru. And then on the flip side, we have Ruka, which Ruka was hilarious. For Ruka to come over there, she was just like, I got cuckolded. I got cucked because of you. And I was dying because I was just like, and Chad was as well. When you think about it, Ruka's not wrong. She went through... That was pretty trash what she had to witness after putting herself, by the way, in that position. But I think for Ruka, and I know some people will be frustrated with her and delusional, etc. I don't think that Ruka is being delusional here. I think she knows the situation for what it is. She came to that realization the moment that she spoke up in chapter 226. But I do think the fact is for Ruka is a slap to her face if Chizuru and Kazuya, after all of that, are still in this make-believe relationship. It's frustrating from her standpoint until they accept the fact that they are indeed dating. I don't think you'll ever see Ruka truly back down. I just don't. But what was interesting in this chapter is that when she's berating Chizuru, Chizuru gets very silent and we see a look on her face. And you get the sense it's just like, okay, Chizuru earnestly does feel something about Kazuya. That's why she says, I'm sorry. And Ruka just kind of like backs down a little bit. Because I think Ruka can even see the fact that clearly Chizuru is conflicted at this point in time. And it's no longer a simple case of she doesn't like him and then she's supporting you. Chizuru is compromised. And we know her feelings. Kazuya does not know her feelings. Clear theme once again. Communication. These two need to talk. But very quickly into the last part of this chapter, which killed me. We had a wild Mami appear. Mami burst through the doors of the restroom. And initially, when Chizuru was in the restroom by herself, I thought Mami was going to approach her calm, cool, angry. No, it was, she burst in with Ruka and Chizuru. She grabs Chizuru by the collar, and she's just like, I've effing had it with you, and you're trying to make fools of us. I got the panel right here in front of me. This might be the thumbnail. I don't know. But this is hilarious. This is actually funny. I feel like a fight is actually not going to break out as much as I would love to see that happen. But if they're to like scrap or something ends up going down, I'm ready. I'm here for it. I'm ready. I've said it before. Mommy's for the streets. We don't like Mommy, but I feel like Mommy, because of the crazy levels like up here, in a one-on-one, I'm betting on Mommy. I'm betting on Mommy in this fight. So that was interesting. That's hilarious. But it sets up stuff for the next chapter on a serious note. I don't know what it is that Mommy is thinking, but I think because, again, she doesn't have much ammo, she's going the direct route, and she's going to confront Chizuru. She's going to threaten something, to do whatever, and I think they're going to hash it out. I think she's going to end up leaving the situation, and she's going to try and blow things up with the family and do something desperate. I just don't know what it is. If this is her desperate act, though, I mean, again, I'm here for it. Fight her, by all means. And also, where's Kibe? Kibe is trying to get some air right now, but I think it's curious and interesting that Kibe at this point in time, who I thought before is very crucial in getting things moving for Chizuru and for Kazuya, that he's currently not around. Every character's around except for Kibe right now. So I'm curious to see when he comes back, what the impact is going to be. What is it that Kibe is going to do at this point in time to move things along and possibly resolve the matter? Because right now, things are very much so not resolved. I said it last chapter. I say it again this chapter. The lie and the lack of communication are the two things that will forever haunt Kazuya and Chizuru. And if they don't fix this, Mommy still has ways to completely ruin everything. Because at the end of the day, they're still lying. They're not actually a couple. We've said before, if they're a couple or this and that, they're not actually a couple because they don't believe they're in a relationship. So I don't know. Looking at my chat very quickly. Chizuru's not taking her words back. Also, now she apologized, was sorry, and didn't try to say it was just for getting out of everything. I agree with that because that shows again that now she's really thinking about her own feelings, and I think she recognizes how she does feel about Kazuya. Ruka's still thinking of small chances to get with him, but slowly clear Kazuya don't have any feelings for Ruka. Agreed on that as well. I think Kibe will be the showstopper. Kibe will come like Shanks in the war. Yeah, so agreed on all those elements, everybody. Again, this is interesting times in the Rent-A-Girlfriend manga. I really hope, I pray, don't let this drag out more. Please don't. I'm liking what's happening, but don't drag it out. Let's just have like a resolution finally. Let Mommy have her final stand. Let Kibe come in, do what he needs to do. But at the end of the day, Deiji, I think between how Chizuru currently feels, how Kazuya feels, and what everyone else around them is clearly pointing out who know the situation, let them talk. Let them figure this out. Don't let more drama happen in the family, but I feel it's going to happen. It is what it is. So everyone, let me know your thoughts once again in the comment section down below. How do you feel about this chapter? Are you excited for Mommy showing up again and about to fight Chizuru? We'll see what happens there. Kuri, Ruka, MVP, who do you feel? How do you feel about Kazuya also still being in clear denial mode, which it blows my mind, but I get it, but it frustrates me still. Yeah, and with that, we're going to end it here. So like the video, like the video, subscribe, like my content, greatly appreciated as always. And with that, I'm Leonard, and I'm out. Take care, everybody. Peace.